morning. What's today? Wednesday. Happy Wednesday, everyone. We are so glad to have you joining us across Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and YouTube. We hope that you're having a wonderful morning. I'm Crystal Weiss, the Director of Marketing here at QuestionPro, and today we're going to have a great executive conversation with our wonderful CEO and founder, Vivek Bhaskaran, and our new President and Chief Healthcare Officer, Artie Betty Pullins. We thought that this would be a great format to be able to really dive into the history of QuestionPro, where QuestionPro is going, and give everybody some nuggets outside of, we do a lot of product webinars. If you want to find one of those, make sure to follow us on LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, or Facebook. And you can join so many live shows that are product driven. But today we're going to talk QuestionPro company driven. So I'm really excited to have these two executives joining us. I know their time is valuable. And so let's dive in. Vivek, welcome to QuestionPro Fireside Chats.
Great to be here.
We're excited to have you here. And this is Artie's second live show with us. She had her debut last week during International Women's Day, and we are excited to have her joining the team. Artie, thanks for coming.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be back.
Live shows are definitely something that once you start at QuestionPro, you can't get out of. They're quite addictive. Not only the chaos, but the good nuggets you get from them. But Viv, we in the last year or last 12, 15 months at QuestionPro have acquired, I thought 4, but we clarified only 3, which, is, I would say, I guess, a lot for some companies. For us, it feels pretty normal these days. But we are acquiring companies, and as we see the market kind of rumbling, you can't really turn one way or the other in tech and not see companies contracting or some of our own competitors having a little bit of a tumultuous times. What do you do so differently that allows us to keep growing and to bring in amazing talent like Artie and her team and the other teams at DigSite and SweetCX?
Well, the first thing is I don't keep my money on Silicon Valley Bank. So let's start there, all right? So if I had cash in Silicon Valley Bank, it would be a problem, I guess. It's a good joke, but so it is relevant though. So we've not taken funding. We are about $30 million right now, and we think we can get to $100 million, obviously. So I think what do we do differently? Number one, we focus on the customer. We're not focused on investors. We're not focused on executives. We're not focused on employees. We're focused on customers. Pretty simple, right? Customers pay our bills. We work for our customers. The bills pay your salaries and my salary too. That's it. It's a very simple equation. We got to take care of our customers, and and everything else is going to follow through. So investors do not have, or anybody else does not have, a say in the conversation. So all our acquisitions have been kind of focused on what can we do more for our customers, given who we are, where we are, rounding out our offering. If we offer one component to the customer, we want to offer everything to the customer around the customer's needs and operational needs. So that's what we think we do differently. Apart from the fact that we do not kind of go around spending money on random things that do not help us or the customer.
I can vouch for that as someone who asks Eric for money quite often.
That's the way.
That's awesome. And so when you're looking to bring in companies, are you answering customers' problems like that have been building up, or you see the market shifting towards what you think customers are going to be asking? Is it a proactive or reactive kind of, or a mix of both?
I'd say half and half, really. So half of it is where we need to fill out some holes. A good example of that would be DigSite, which is our qualitative research platform. So obviously we've been doing quant for a long time, and most of our customers okay, we want to kind of merge quant and qual. That's going to be that's been a little bit of a chatter, if you will. And we saw DigSite as an opportunity to kind of mix our quant product with our qual product, have two offerings. The other option would be SweetCX, where Not a lot of customers are asking for journey mapping, but we believe that journey mapping would be an interesting and a good add-on to our voice of the customer offering. So journey mapping, typically people do journey mapping independently, separately, and then they implement a voice of the customer program. So we thought that having both those capabilities is a unique proposition. We are the only guys who do that. So you'd say half and half. I would argue literally half and half. One company basically fits a need. The other one is kind of more like we are pushing towards it.
I love that. So you really talked about, I know you're comfortable dig site and Suite CX, you got that. But what about our ringer over here, Artie, coming in with a healthcare offering that's very much more, I would say, vertical based.
Yep.
Than our current kind of, distilled product offerings. Where did you see the, oh my gosh, when I use this word, it's going to be embarrassing. How did you see the synergy? Like, I just was like, I can't, that's the only word I got.
Well, hanging out with, so Arti and I have been working together kind of tangentially for the last almost 9 months, 1 year almost. So the synergy is really Arti, really. I mean, So like all good things, obviously I'm enamored by her, and she was like, I really wanted to figure out a way to, bring Aarti and her team on board. And more importantly, you're right. It is a vertical strategy. We are looking, complex, as we expand, we believe that we'll have kind of different verticals that we'll focus into. Within Presys, obviously, we focused 2 years ago, we acquired a company called Presys. That's kind of part of our automotive division. And now, obviously, Aarti is going to lead our healthcare division. So we have a horizontal platform, and then we start certain verticals. We're starting to invest into verticalized solutions like healthcare and automotive.
Nice. And Artie, what Viv was enamored by you when he said, he changed his language a little bit when he was like, he was interested in working with us. What about the QuestionPro vibe and, the company that Vivek has built was really appealing to bringing your company in to work with us or join us?
You guys are using great words as synergy and enamored. My nerdy and geek roots, and actually say I just love data, and I love being with partners and companies and Vivek and Eric and everybody else that also loves data, and we're all data geeks of it. And when I was younger, I would have never said that, but now I'm like proud of it. Like I love it. I love looking at data. So and in all honesty, that's a huge area for us, obviously, as a global company, but in healthcare, the number one area of opportunity, fear, change, even outside of these last 3 years and 4 years, what the world has gone through is access to data. And now we can do it. Now we can give it. Now we have access to it. And people are salivating for it on how to use better data, how to collect better information about, Vivek mentioned customers. We're all customers of healthcare. I have 2 boys. I consume a lot of healthcare. Let me tell you, all the time. I have aging parents. I consume a lot of healthcare. I go to CVS, Walgreens. I consume healthcare every day. I know that sounds really strange to think about it that way. People look at healthcare as this big, ginormous buildings and hospitals and ambulatory care, and all of that is true, but we consume healthcare every day. There's a huge aspect of how do I interact with my doctor? How does the doctor interact with me? How do life sciences companies create better products, therapies, drugs, digital therapies using an incredible AR and VR? Nobody has access to all that data. And we do. So let's give them that. So I love it.
And moving into that vertical space, how do you, this is a question for both of you. How do you see QuestionPro's product offerings like QuestionPro CX, QuestionPro Research, QuestionPro Employee Experience, or Workforce Product? How do you see them kind of building out all of that data? I know this is going to be a great plug for Insights Hub. Shout out to Nick. And how do you see them kind of combining those offerings together and building I would say like an insights, like victorious platform, right? Like, how do you see like a healthcare company or an auto vertical really taking all of our platforms and like connecting the dots? Like, what's your ideal vision for a customer of QuestionPro?
Well, I mean, I think as you think about more complex problems, at least what I've noticed is the need for having domain-specific expertise comes into play, not just a platform, realistically, right? So we've seen this in automotive. We help a lot of our customers in the automotive sector, but we also have a lot of expertise in the automotive sector as part of that acquisition. Same thing applies to healthcare. So ultimately, I think as we've talked to customers, we realize that like yes, we need a platform, we need a tech solution, but we also need some level of kind of experienced folks within the company that actually know the space deep. And these are fairly complex problems, even in automotive quality, for example, fairly complex problems. Healthcare obviously is 19% of the GDP in the United States at least, so it's like a fairly large problem. And Arti mentioned it's not just one thing. It's not just when you see the doctor, it's how the doctor interacts with you, and then how the doctor interacts with the pharmaceutical companies, how pharmaceutical companies make drugs, and then retail stores are also involved over here. So I think the point I'm trying to make is that I think we built obviously a technology platform, but within we are thinking about verticals where we have either partners or deep domain expertise with folks, and either internally or externally we'll work with folks. And these complex problems can need obviously complex technical solutions, but also complex intellectual solutions, if you will. So, and those intellectual solutions obviously come from people, and that's why we have Arti and folks like Ken and everybody else on board.
Yeah. Complex intellectual solutions. That is I was like, it's not quite enough that it's like it doesn't roll off the tongue, but it is really, I think, a strong indicator of where QuestionPro is going in the next year or 2 years. For Viv's candidness, he's always like, we're going to be 100 million, which is true. We're going to, but there is so much thought and complex solutioning going on behind the scenes. Arti, how do you see that applying as you're now kind of in a presidential role at QuestionPro and guiding us through some of our revenue growth strategies and our healthcare strategies? How are you going to apply those complex intellectual solutions?
I'll answer that in 2 ways. I agree it's complicated and you need to layer intelligence, whether human intelligence or artificial intelligence. There's a lot of talk happening in that arena these days too, right? ChatGPT is all over the place and everybody's kind of nervous and scared about it. But I'm going to actually answer that question in a different way. You can get afraid of data, or you can use it as your friend and actually make decisions. And I think sometimes, I'll give you the healthcare point of view, we overcomplicate what we're getting. Don't overcomplicate it. It's actually quite simple. If you want to use a simple tool of a DIY data collection, well, we'll do it for you and we'll give you simplistic answers. If you want to go really deep and wide and you want quant and qual and intelligence built on top of that, well, we'll support you and we'll help you and we'll give you that as well. If you want to understand, you mentioned Insight Hub, so I'll use that as an example. If you want to use existing data that you have and build more logic on top of that, well, guess what? Viv and I'll do that for you.
Oh, personally, we've got.
No, we have a machine learning model that'll do it for us. No, we're not actually physically going to do it, but that's.
My point is that you can sometimes we use this word data and big data and insights and outcomes, and I think we start to scare people. And it's not a scary word. It's actually a pretty fun, interesting word, because you cannot solve either a complex problem, like Vivek is saying, or even a simple problem without understanding the data that you have in hand or the data you're collecting. And that's the exciting part for me, is we can come in, be your partner, be your expert, be your friend sitting literally right next to you at the table, helping you derive better decisions. And not that vendor sitting across the table. I learned this very young in my career, that you can be a partner or you can be a vendor. And I think we live in the space of, let us be your partner. Let us sit next to you and help you. What's your problem? We can solve it. Let it be easy, or may it be complex using AI or people. Both.
It was like, not me. I'll use the tools.
That's what
I love that. And that's just really, that talking about those partnerships, I really think you do see a difference in the companies you want to work with long term. And we know from surveys and data that the younger generations do want those partners. They want people who they want to work with, companies that mean something and value things and really tell a story with who they are as a corporation, which I don't think QuestionPro has any problem doing. But to that end, what type of company is QuestionPro as we're moving forward? We've got a great technical background, a huge technical stack. If you didn't know, everybody out there watching, we have Research Suite, which it comprises of Communities, Audience, Insights Hub, Research Edition, and Services, and QualSite. 6. Yep. If you want a customer experience platform, we have QuestionPro CX. You've got customer journey mapping, NPS, NPS Plus, reputation, and all the loops, outer, inner, and closed.
Yeah.
Wow. Good job, Crystal. I was wondering if we're gonna flip this or not. So good job.
And then you've got QuestionPro Workforce, our employee experience platform with positive people science, 360 reviews, and this is the one I probably need to do a little better at. Empower. So
action management.
Empower, action management. There we go. And so if you're looking across the QuestionPro suite of offerings, we really can do it all. And we have a very deep technical knowledge of how to solve a lot of complex problems. Moving forward, some might say we're pretty filled out now. What do you both of you see for QuestionPro's next voyage as we move into 2023?
I'll go, and then I'll take it right after that. So I mean, you're right. I mean, I think one of our strategies has been full stack, which is kind of finding all the solutions for a particular use case, which is in this. Obviously, you mentioned the research use case, the CX use case, and the employee kind of experience use case. So we're not just, we're not a point solution. We want to make sure that our customers can, round out the offering. So going forward, I think it's more like integrating these systems together. So we have kind of 3 different in a company. There's a lot of talk around how customer experience and employee experience are actually interconnected. So I think those are the kind of problems I'd like to tackle going forward. We've kind of solved some of these problems. So the next set of kind of challenges are kind of interconnecting the dots together between research and CX and employee experiences. So these things don't obviously don't exist in a vacuum or in its own space, even though we've kind of created these spaces, but they're all interconnected together. So I think that would be a fairly complex challenge. I would say it's not an easy one to solve. I don't know many companies that have actually solved it. A lot of people are talking about it, but I don't think many folks have really kind of attempted to solve it. So I think that will be a very interesting problem to kind of think about and solve. And I want everybody in the company to have fun. I mean, I think you asked me a little bit about QuestionPro. I think you guys know this internally, but I think part of the reason, I think my backstory is a big reason why I started QuestionPro is I hated my boss. Pretty simple, actually. I mean, it literally is it was like I went back. I remember going back to my wife when I quit my day job, and I said, I just don't want to go back to work for that person. He's just an asshole. That's it. So I don't want to be that asshole. Let me put it that way. Okay, the other way around, right? So I don't want I want everybody in this company to have fun, have purpose, have meaning, and run as fast as they can. So I think that's part of the culture. We are very transparent internally. Obviously you guys know me really well, but internally also I say what I think and I do what I say, hopefully, and that's part of the culture that I want to build. I know as we grow bigger, obviously it becomes harder and harder, but I mean, I'm obviously not gonna let go. I'm gonna try my level best.
I love it. All the so funny part is you started this company 15 years ago because you didn't really like your boss. I started my company almost 5.5 years ago. Now we're a QuestionPro family because I didn't like my boss. So I wanted to go change the world for women and women execs my own way. So I'll also say, Crystal, I'll answer your first question and then come back to QuestionPro and culture here for a minute as well. But I think I love the idea of aligning customer experience and employee experience. We're seeing that more and more. Healthcare, 100%. You can't understand your patient if you don't understand what's happening at the physician office, at the hospital, at the ambulatory care, at the ER, all of those things. And you can't develop drugs if you're not understanding what your patient wants. Guess who's doing all that drug development and clinical trial development? Your amazing employees that are working for you, right? So it's a very intertwined arena to be in. The other thing I would say you'll see us do over the next couple of years, kind of going back to what I was saying earlier, being strategic partners. I think customers need that. I think the market needs that. People are, no matter how bold we all act, we get scared too. Market is crazy. The world is nutty. Every day something new comes up, and something new will come up in the next 20 minutes once we're off this call. It's bound to happen, right? People need strategic partnership, and give us a call. We'll be your strategic partner. Last thing about company, I'll give a personal note here. Ooh. I run this amazing company for 5.5 years. We were almost at 6 until Viv and Eric swooped us up. And I think I had shared this with Vivek a long time ago. I said, I'm not looking for another job. I'm looking for a family. I'm looking for a partner. And I'm looking for somebody to help us, me, my customers, my team, and this world accelerate and become a better place. And I thoroughly believe that. Maybe that sounds too sentimental on a Wednesday morning, but I believe that in my heart. And QuestionPro has that culture. And I believe that every single day with every single one of us. So I'm very grateful for Viv, what you have created, Crystal, what you have created over the last 3 years, 4 years, 5 years that you've been with us, and all our amazing presidents, and Eric Cotto, who kind of hides behind the camera.
I'm going to get him on a live show. I think I'm going to make it my mission in 2023.
He's really, really good. I mean, he's presented earlier on. He's presented. He's really funny. He doesn't come out that often, but when he comes out, he's like super funny.
He's been getting a lot of shout outs lately. People are going to be like, "Who's this guy?"
Eric Cotto, yes. So no, I love it. I think I am really excited. The market's crazy. Everybody, there's always fear, uncertainty, and doubt. And guess what can solve fear, uncertainty, and doubt? Data.
I know you're gonna say data.
Roots. But I love it. I'm so excited to be here. We'll be at Vive next week in Nashville. I'll be there if anybody's in Nashville. Come say hi. There's going to be a bunch of us, healthcare techie, healthcare data people. I'd love to say hi. And then Vivek is all over the world.
Yeah, where are you even in the world currently?
Transform. I'm going to be in Vegas. It's Vegas. Come on, dude.
Oh, are you going to Vegas with Sonia next week?
Yes.
Yep.
Obviously, I am. That's amazing. So, Artie, you're going to be in Nashville for Vive, which is a great healthcare company. And then Viv and our president of workforce, Sonia Lucina, who is also the host of Empowering Workplaces, will be in Vegas next week at Transform. And so if you see them there, make sure to flag them down and say hi, chat some business, or, do the things you do in Vegas. There's that.
Exactly.
And then we will also be looking farther into the future. The research team will be at IIEX here in our hometown of Austin, Texas in May. We will be back again in Nashville in June for CX Forrester. And so if you want to find us, we'll probably be there. We are doing a lot of traveling as a team this year. kind of getting back out there, meeting customers. And we want to meet you if you're a customer or a customer to be, or just a fan. We'd be happy to meet you. And though we do have a little bit of a watcher today, Dan, our president of research and insights, whenever he's not on a live show, he's always like, excuse me, I'm here. He does think this chat is synergy. So Viv, any final words, tips, tricks, and secrets of QuestionPro would you like to share with the audience today? We know, I feel like I hear a lot of your story on the shows. And so as we start having you on, I'm going to start trying to break that mold of the storytelling you're really good at. I want to know the tips, tricks, and secrets of QuestionPro.
I don't know. I mean, I think one of the things that I'm actually, maybe it's a tip, trick, secret, and I'm really proud of is like we're a global company. We are not centered around the United States. We're not centered around any one particular thing. Obviously, a lot of us live in the States, but that's I think I'm super proud of from day one. We've been global. We have had teams in India. We have a team an amazing team in Mexico, UK. Asim runs UK, Germany, Dubai. Sindhu's crushing it in Dubai. So we've kind of like made a concerted effort of not being any one particular kind of area or focus. So we're a tech platform, so therefore we can be global, and we are global. We're in 8 different countries, 9 different countries. So that's something that I'm kind of deeply internally very proud of, that we are able to kind of be part of this kind of like, there's a lot of kind of anti-globalization kind of conversation, which, and obviously I'm an immigrant, so, and I'm obviously pro-globalization, pro-immigration. So obviously when I came to the States, I had, very little cash. That's why I went to BYU. Semester tuition was like $1,800 a semester. It's like, actually a pretty good deal. Yes, it's kind of got some other issues, no drinking, no booze, and all kinds of stuff. So, but $1,800, come on, good ROI. You gotta admit it, right? So yeah, I mean, the globalization thing has been a good thing for, has been a deep thing for me personally, and I'm proud of the fact that we are not kind of like, we're not tribal about it. We are global, and we want to be across the board. So that's kind of my thoughts.
Ooh, that's probably a good, it's not like we keep it a secret, but we definitely don't talk about it as much. When we're like, oh, on any given day, 5 of us on a call are in 6 different time zones.
Yep.
Figure that one out, because that's what happened the other day. And so I think that's definitely one of our, like, a secret of QuestionPro that really does empower us, is that diversity of geographic locations.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Tip, trick, or secret, Artie?
Oh. Man, he took all my trips in secret. Well, global company for sure. Oh, I don't know. Maybe they've already mentioned this. I know we started off with the market and Silicon Valley Bank and stuff, but we have not raised external capital. Viv and Eric put everything back in the company that comes in, goes back in the company in order to grow it and mature it, and to make us more successful and our customers. And there's something to be said about that. That you guys and we have not taken a dime, and that's phenomenal in this market, and to be a technical company, to be able to do that. We have tremendous, I'm just gonna put this plug out there. Tremendous women leaders in this company.
Yes.
All races, all different parts, country. I know you just mentioned Shivani and Sindhu and Valerie, Susan Roth, Sanya in Buenos Aires, Argentina, myself in weird, gloomy Chicago. I give more names, and our beautiful Crystal, director of marketing. That's incredible. That does not happen, and that does not happen in a tech company. Let's just be honest about it.
So we're not a bunch of tech bros. Is that what you're telling me? We're not a bunch of asshole tech bros, right?
We're all in together. So incredible to have that.
Awesome. And to your point, Artie, if you guys are joining us on Live with Dan's Without Dan this month, it's because we are celebrating Women's History Month, and we have been having women guests all throughout the month. And this week, we will be having a new guest. And then next week, we will have the outgoing president of ESMAR, Kristen Luck, joining us. And so if you really want to talk or listen to how QuestionPro is empowering women in the workplace and in technology and in insights, go back and listen to our last few episodes of Live with Dan, Without Dan. So, and you can see us showcasing that. Well, you guys, I really appreciate your 30 minutes. I know it is valuable, and we are so glad to have had you on QuestionPro Fireside Chats, and we will chat with you later.
Thank
Bye,
you, Crystal.
guys.
Bye, Aarti.